Hey everybody, so I made a crucial mistake already. I forgot my little bug repelling bracelets, and that's kind of sad, because I actually tried to remind myself, and then I forgot anyway. I know it's been a little while again. It's been a couple of days. I don't remember the last time I put out an episode, but I think I actually edited it the day after I actually shot it. So, it's been a little bit again. The reason is, well, still haven't really had any big breakthroughs on something to do, like DIY or cooking or anything like that I can do with what I have available to me, and when I have the house to myself. So, when all the stars align, maybe I'll have a nice project, but, that only happens once every 1,000 years, right? So, watch out for that. It's dangerous. And that's not the only reason. Another reason is, there's not a ridiculous amount to talk about. When you live in a small town, you don't talk to a lot of people. So even walking and talking is like, I can go off on rants, but I think I covered most of the stuff that really perturbs me. So I might just start repeating myself, and that's never a good thing. But this one's kind of just that. Just going to be random. Some things have happened, some interesting things. I'm not sure what all I want to talk about. Not sure what all I want to talk about on camera. But stupid bugs and cobwebs, man. I'm going to be freaking itchy at the end of this. I don't know what all I want to talk about on camera, but we're going to cover some of it. I forgot last time. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but I went up to visit Dude again to see if he wanted to get the landscaping done. And he told me to forget about it. Never ask for a refund. I feel like I mentioned that, but I'm not sure if I mentioned that. That's really weird, but it's whatever. Like I said, I'm kind of glad he didn't ask for any money back, because I was there, he wasn't. I held up my end of the bargain. So, yeah. The other thing I missed last episode is that something interesting happens. Now, I feel like this is kind of gross, but we're going to go ahead and talk about it anyway. So I went down to do grocery shopping down in the city of City. Oh, man. Spider web. And you can have that put on that leaf. Oh, excuse me. I went down to the city which borders my town. And before I was getting ready to leave, I stopped at the bus station restroom, as I do sometimes, to take a leak. Because having to take a leak when you're on the bus is never a good thing. So I usually stop before the bus comes and take a leak at the restroom. Somebody left books behind. Handwritten, almost kind of plannerish kind of books. So I contemplated my options. I was like, my first thought was, do I even want to touch them in the bus station bathroom? Eventually, curiosity got the better of me, and I took them and threw them in my backpack. Right. Now I was going to turn them into lost and found. But I decided, depending on the information they contain, I might be able to make use of it, or it might get the person in trouble. So I would just not, If it was that important, they wouldn't have lost it. I'd be willing. I have my theories. But anyways, so I got them back to the house, right? Now this might sound a little bit over precautious. I washed my hands, threw on a pair of gloves, and rubber gloves. We have a couple boxes of them from my pap had different medical things he needed done. We had rubber gloves. So I threw on a pair of rubber gloves, and I was thumbing through the pages. And it's really a bunch of just random garbage. There's stuff that I could probably use, but I don't think it would be... Here's the bulk of it, right? Credit card numbers, government assistant numbers, phone numbers for all kinds of people with nicknames, no real names that I could tell, shopping lists. One thing I seen that was extra awesome was, I am almost 100% sure, now I've never tried it, and I never will, because it's just, that was one of the no-nos in my list of things I didn't want to ever touch. But I'm almost 100% sure it's a recipe to make your own crystal meth, which I found interesting. I like chemistry. I'm kind of a science nerd, so that kind of stuff interests me, whether it's illegal or not. But considering what the recipe had, I'm pretty sure it's a recipe to make crystal meth. So that was kind of cool. I would not take that with a grain of salt, because, finding a book in the bus station restroom, and the person is probably already on hard drugs that lost it, might not be exactly an accurate recipe. But I thought that was, super interesting. I still have the books. I was thinking about thumbing through them on camera, but there are some personal details in there and stuff, and I don't know what I want to do with it yet. I could try to find the owner, but I kind of dropped out of that life a while ago, and I don't think finding the owner is going to benefit me in any way. So yeah, that's just a little random thought. Next order of business. So, I got an analogy for you, right? I got a comparison. I tried to find a doctor for a second opinion on a skin issue I've been having that doesn't seem to want to ever heal. I have some theories that are a tad bit frightening, but I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to get overly worried about it. And even if it's true, I'm not going to get overly worried about it, because, ain't much to really do about it. So, trying to get a doctor's appointment is like trying to play Jenga with your feet. This person won't take insurance from that person. This person can't direct you to that person because they're not in the same building. And I have to call this person, get transferred to this person, just to talk to another person. It's like a giant... It's like playing Jenga with your feet. They make it so much harder than it has to be. You could just use your hands and you're done. But, yeah, so... long story short, I ended up finally getting through to a different family physician, and after I described the issue, I said that I'm pretty much looking for a second opinion, because when I went to get my physical, I had it looked at by a substitute family doctor, and her initial diagnosis was shaky to start with, and then what she prescribed me did nothing or made it worse. So I wanted to get a second opinion outside of that office. So yeah. Now I got a type of steroid cream that's it's apparently used for a mild form of eczema that runs in my family. You get it on their hands. I get it on my hands on rare occasion. And I wanted to get it checked out, and she gave me this here apparently strong steroid cream, which is fantastic, because this strong steroid cream is actually a same thing or a variant of what they gave me for when I had poison ivy. So I actually was using that for everything. The thing that was supposedly an infected hair follicle, or the things that are supposedly infected hair follicles, I put that on it, and they actually started to feel like they were healing to a degree. But I didn't want to use the entire tube and bandage it. I would use medical tape and gauze pads to cover it over. So I'd put the junk on, then I'd put the gauze pad and medical tape on before I went to sleep. That way I'd have all night to work its magic. And then in the morning, I'd peel it off, wash it up real good, and go about my day. The problem with that is it gets real annoying getting that tape adhesive off your neck. So I kind of laid off doing that. So, and I didn't want to use the entire tube in case I actually got poison ivy again. So, excuse me. Animals, probably deer that way. Can't see them though. Too much foliage. Yeah, that's a new thing. So, a couple of weeks I got a doctor's appointment. So that'll be, hopefully, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's really bad to be right. It's one of those instances where you're like, man, I'm always right. And when I'm always right, it's usually a bad thing. So, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm trying to find somebody that should be trained and should know more than I do. So, hopefully I get a definitive answer in a couple of weeks. Moving on. So, yesterday I planned to shoot an episode. I planned to actually shoot this episode yesterday, but as I was getting ready to leave, I got told that I have a ride to go grocery shopping, so I should probably go. And that is what I did. So, real strange, because I never go in the afternoon. It was like 5, 6 o'clock. I never go that late. Whenever there's a ride lined up, or I'm supposed to go, even on the bus, I usually out at like lunch, and I'm back by 4 or 5, at the latest. So that was kind of strange, but it was whatever. We got the job done, and yeah, so on and so forth. Oh, another reason I haven't made videos is we had 2 days of like torrential downpour, which was fantastic for the garden, but not so good for making videos, and not so good for cutting the grass. So I made a decision, I think 2 days ago, that I was going to cut the grass at 6 o'clock and go down and see the event. And then at about 3:45, the wind picked up and the sky started getting dark, and I was like, okay, if I go right now, break out the mower, fuel it up, I can get the yard done before it starts to pour. And I got maybe 30% of the way done, and the mower just gave up because the grass was too wet. So I had to finish it the next day. That was put a little kink in my plans, but like I said, the rain was much needed for the garden. I've harvested my first squash, so that was kind of exciting. The squash isn't really for me. I'm not a big squash fan. I don't mind it, but there's a lot of other things I'd rather have. But it is what it is. By the end of everything, it was a nice addition. So, another interesting side note when we're talking about vegetables and gardens. You know what? I'm going to go so I don't have to cut this episode and piece it together. I'll be right back. Speaking of vegetables, I watched, I don't want to call him famous, but he seems to know his way around a garden. So, I watch his videos once in a while. In which, it might not even be him. He might just be the face of the product, you know? Like how some people do. Like, it could be a guy reading a script, and never planted a vegetable in his life. I'm not here to judge. The point is, I listened to his video, and I saw something that I mentioned before that was kind of strange. That he was like, you could just hack off chunks of a tomato plant, toss it in the ground, and it'll start to grow. Now, I know that tomatoes, any part of the plant, can grow whatever part of that plant it needs. I didn't think that you could cut off a piece of tomato, pop it in the ground, and it would go. I thought you would need, like, a vase and some nutrient water to get the root started. But apparently that's not true. I did run a couple of them over with a lawnmower just because, but a couple of the nicer ones are popped up and I think they're rooted good, which is really cool. I like that, but I just don't know. I really didn't expect it to work. Like, all I did was cut off what they call suckers on the tomato plant. I shortened them up to a size that was manageable, I took the tomato posts that I'm using, and I popped a hole in the ground as deep as I could get it. I dropped the thing in the hole, closed the whole way around it, and then watered it. And in like a week, it started to perk up and, you know, it has blossoms and it's going to be a tomato plant. So that's, I was on the fence about that working. Like, I thought it would need a bit of help, a bit of a boost, like in a vase with nutrient water or something. I don't think you just pop it in the ground, it would work, but I stand corrected. So, and like I said, most of the time I can spot something that's BS, and whenever I see something that I'm on the fence about, I'm pretty eager to try it. So I'm kind of glad I did. And I got I planted 7 of them, I think, and I ran over all of them with a lawnmower, but 3, I think. And you're probably wondering why, and like I said, it was more of the tomato plants I got are going to provide plenty for me and my grandmother. Like, there's not going to be any kind of an issue. It was a proof of concept. I wanted to see if it actually worked. So, the couple of the nicer ones I kept, hoping that we'd get late season tomatoes, maybe. If it works like that, I don't know. Don't really care. Like I said, it was a proof of concept. So, anyways, what else is there? Rain, grass cutting, garden. Interesting. Let's skip that for now. I'm sure how I want to approach that. The event in my town, the other event that's going on in my town, the new event, lackluster. Now there are going to be bands later on this week, and I plan to go see 1 or 2 of them. I don't typically do stuff like that, but the one I've actually seen before, and the other one I heard was really good, and I like to see for myself. So I figured I gotta, like today, this walk was kind of centered around getting another 6-pack of beer, so that when I went for the concerts, I could get a bit of a pre-buzz before I go down to buy a bunch of beer down there and, you know, spend way more than I want to. Like right now, I'm kind of teetering on the line of how much money I want to waste. And if I were to just drink down there, 2 beer down there equal a 6-pack at home. So I drink 2 beer at home, go down there and drink 2 beer, come back and drink 2 beer, go to bed, and rinse and repeat. You know, it's a lot cheaper that way, and I still get to have a fairly decent night. Like a 6-pack. If I drink a whole 6-pack, I'm usually pretty good. So maybe sometimes even a bit over the good mark. So it's if I drank a whole 6-pack down there, it's what, $3 a beer, $18. If I drink a 6-pack I get from the 6-pack shop, it's this time $6.75 because I get a different brand. So I mean, you know, it's simple math. You know, it's great to support a cause. It's not so great to get ripped off. So anyways, like the other function that I was talking about that was kind of, you know, dead this year, that they would sell beer for like $7 a bottle, and people would buy it too, and that's like completely insane. 1 beer is equivalent to a 6-pack. Like it's insane. It's absolutely insane. It's insane that people spend that on it. But I guess that's what it is when you don't. They can't work for their own money, because if they worked for their own money, they wouldn't be doing that. There's no freaking way. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to talk about this. I'm going to try to keep it very generic and very, I want to talk about it to express how strange it is, but I don't want to give away too many details because I just don't want to. I just don't feel that it's necessary for the story, but I feel that it could do more harm than good. So I want to talk about it because I want to talk about it, but here we go. So I walked into the store yesterday after I already went shopping because I wanted to pick up bread at the local store because I don't like picking up bakery kind of goods away from the house because it's too likely that they're going to get smashed. So if I could buy the same thing and know it's not going to get smashed, you know, I might as well do it. So there we go. I was leaving the store after talking to a guy about them. Okay, so here's how the whole thing mapped out. I got back from shopping, and I had an interesting conversation with my cashier, and I low-key was trying to get her to come to the concert with me, because she's kind of cute, and she was kind of my type, right? So I wasn't like, you know, laying it on thick, but I dropped a few hints that I was going to be there, and, you know, that there was a concert so she could show up. If she does, we'll see, but that could make things interesting as well, because after that, I got back, I went to the store, alright? I left the store, and I was walking up, and I seen somebody I'd never seen before. I have no idea who they were. So, I said, hey, and they actually started talking to me, like, full-on conversation, which is weird, because people don't usually talk to me very often at all. So it was kind of strange, but we actually sat in the park, like normal well, I guess I can't say like normal human beings, because who the heck sits in the park anymore? But we actually sat in the park and talked, like, complete strangers. Super weird, but he is not from this country, apparently. So, oh no, he's not from my area. He's from a very different part of the United States. So, talking to him was actually kind of a treat, because I prefer to talk to people that ain't spoon-fed the same garbage. So we talked for probably 20 minutes, and then somebody brought the dog around, you know, said hi to the puppo, and gave it a pat on the head, and told him I should probably go, because I've been gone like all frickin' day, and I just wanted to get the bread back and, you know, lounge around for a little while. So, long and short of the conversation is, I told him that there was a concert on Thursday, so he could meet me there, because I don't have a phone. So because I don't have a cell phone, and all I do is use Discord for most of my conversations, and none of those conversations are for local people. It's usually it was made so I can troubleshoot video games, and it was made so I could talk to fans if anybody wanted to talk to me in a more in-depth setting than the comments section. So that was the primary it's got to be a train. I hear something. I think they closed this place down for the rest of the day, but it was open when I came in, but they should have been close to closing it down. So I hope I don't run into anybody. That could be an issue, but an issue we could deal with when the time comes. So I told him about the concert and told him he could meet me down there. Told him I'd probably be there, you know, about when the band starts. I'll probably be drinking a beer or two, and that'll be that. Then I continued my walk to my house, and they are still down here. I continued my walk to my house, right? And I went to I walked past another house, and somebody was on the porch and yelled my name, and I thought it was somebody I went to school with. Turned out it wasn't. Turned out it was the daughter that apparently was talking crap on me to her dad, that got me and her dad to stop talking, and apparently she wanted to talk to me, and that was an interesting situation, because I gotta be honest, I wasn't too thrilled to talk to somebody that caused drama and wanted to and got me to stop talking to somebody that was slightly more beneficial to my life. So, long story short, I tried to keep it relatively short conversation. She introduced me to her friend, right? And her friend apparently thinks I'm cute and wanted my phone number. I don't have a phone. So I told her I'd be at the concert on Thursday, and they took my Discord so that she could talk to me. Now, if everybody shows up at the concert, that could be, like, super weird, because the one dude's a complete stranger. The one chick is a complete stranger that I find attractive, and the other chick is a complete stranger that finds me attractive. So that sounds like a whole mess. So I don't know what to do there. Well, I mean, I know what to do. I'm going to show up, I'm going to drink, I'm going to try my best to be myself. I think that's what I'm going to do. But it is mildly concerning because, well, this girl that apparently is attracted to me, she's not, like, she's cute. It's just the people she's affiliated with, and she's not exactly my type. So it's like, you're probably thinking, like, you really shouldn't be so choosy considering how many dates you go on, and you're not wrong. But to me, I know this is lost in time, but to me, relationships are not something you should settle with. That's how you get, so many divorces. So, I don't know. That's about as detailed as I want to get on that whole subject. The point is, if you know who I am, I will be at the concert on Thursday around 6 o'clock. You wanna come add more drama to the situation? That's where I'll be. Good. Oh boy. I mean, that's gonna. I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, whatever happens, happens. As far as emotional trauma is concerned, I think I have enough experience in that field that it'd be a lot shorter of a fight if you just punch me in the face. So up until in that gap of time between videos, all that has perspired, and at least, I mean, it's just super weird, because nobody really talks to me, especially people that are my age. Like, especially people my age. That just doesn't happen. So, not around here. They are technically, I guess they're not from around here. Like, the girl said she's seen me before, but I don't know where. I think she said on the bus, like, I don't really remember her. But she said when I was wearing my skeleton mask, so it could have been back in mask days, and I just never noticed her. So, who knows? Here's what I know. Depending on the situation, she got my Discord. She knows where I'm gonna be. Whatever happens, happens. Not gonna overthink it. Same way, I do know, like, like I said, when it comes to relationships and stuff, you shouldn't really settle. So, if the other chick shows up, I think I'll probably put in some effort there. But, like I said, with my situation and how I feel about things, I really don't want to drag anybody down with me. But it's been a little while since I had emotional connection, I guess. Had physical entertainment, emotional, physical connection. You get what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm putting down. So, it might be a bit overdue to shake off some of the rust. I mean, I'm only gonna be young for so long, right? Now, out of all seriousness, I probably just like sideline any romantic interest until so, like, if their life gets ruined, it's on them, not me. Alright, I'm about to the public trail. I'm about to the bridge to the public trail. I think I'm gonna go. I think that's gonna pretty much wrap up this episode. Not really too much more to really discuss. This is probably about a half an hour long. So, I'll catch you guys later. I'll let you know if I missed anything or think of anything. I still got about an hour walk, 2 hour walk, hour and a half. So, you might see me like 10 more times. You never know. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Later on.